Plenty of fundamental movements: squatting, kneeling, all type of movement using your lower body mobility. That again are not. I don't like to call them mobility drills. They're just very simple movement like a deep squat, deep knee bend, half kneeling, tall kneeling, split kneeling, lateral half kneeling, etc. A lot of variations like this that are going to expose um, deficiencies in mobility, which is most people,
Yeah.
including people that are considered as fit and
Right.
including some elite athletes. Um, and then balancing movements, completely discarded, completely neglected in the field of fitness, and yet they again show issues with mobility and stability right away. Like my friend Gray Cook likes to say, don't add strength to dysfunction. So people love to go for, strength. They want strength. They want to look strong. They don't necessarily want to be strong. They want to look strong, but they add strength to their latent dysfunctions. They can't even squat. Their hips are stiff, etc. So working and practicing the most fundamental movements and positions. Positions are part of movement. And then you can build your practice up and skills and conditioning through crawling movements, jumping movements, and then ultimately you are going to, once you have established a foundation of good, efficient, quality movement, then you go for what we call VIC, volume, intensity, complexity. But if you can't move with quality, if you can't move efficiently, you have no business in trying to increase volume, intensity, or complexity, or else you're a jackass or just ignorant. You don't know what you're doing. You
Right.
want to pretend, but you don't know what you're doing. Movement quality comes first, always. So, yeah, I can we can talk about specific movements. What are going to be the techniques? Okay, we're going to do jumping, for instance. So there's the leg swing jump, there's the broad jump, there's the vertical jump, the depth jump, the split jump, the vertical split, the whatever lateral split, the vault, etc. Okay, there's tremendous variety in movement of, for instance, jumping patterns.
Right.
Much more than just jumping up and down mindlessly on a plyo box.
Right.
But um, it's not just about the variety for the sake of variety. Every technique has a practical role. It's like a toolbox. You have to deal with a variety of context, a variety of environments, a variety of environmental demands, a variety of situational demands. Ultimately, that's where you want to be because of your desire to develop real life physical competence. You can't think in terms of DPP. You can't think in terms of, okay, well, if I'm able to jump 100 times on top of the box up and down for time, then I'm ready for anything jumping. No, you're
You're
not.
ready for the box. That's it.
No, you're not. You're just ready to jump 100 times relatively fast on top of that particular box with that particular movement pattern, that particular surface, and that particular height, right? Adaptation is specific. That's the set principle, specific
Right.
adaptation to imposed demand. We apply it all the time in MoveNat. So think of the movements that kids would do naturally in a park. I know it's hard to breathe when you hear these things. Um, think of the movement that people would call kids would call play, but apply them in to adults that have lost their basic, the baseline of movement, natural movement skills, and teach them technique, look at their mobility, look at their stability, and improve their coordination and improve their conditioning, their strength, stamina, power, etc. in the process of acquiring and developing movement skills. That's the idea behind movement.
Right. Yeah. So I'm interested in how you apply this in your own training. do you simply just go outside and just experience your environment and kind of do what you feel like doing? Or do you have a planned set of things that you're particularly working on over the course of time?
It depends. It all depends, and both are possible. You can use the MoveNet system in a way that's very empirical, very intuitive, very spontaneous. So basically, you can go at the park and go in nature and just feel, just move. You look at the tree, you climb a tree, you look at the fallen tree, and you vault over and you crawl under, and then you lift that stone and you carry that stone and things like that, right? And that's, by the way, a lot of people still believe that that's what MoveNet is, right? Or you can be training indoors with a plan, with a program that's based on your weaknesses, with specific emphasis for specific physiological adaptations, specific skill development. You can use periodization. There are plenty of ways you can do your programming around developing that general overall physical competence. And then you can count reps, and you can time, and you can measure, and you can manage your progress and monitor it, and train in control environments. Sure, that is MoveNet 2. That is actually even more MoveNet than just do it, in nature, and just go with no plan. So both philosophies are possible, both approaches are possible. At a personal level, at the moment, I'm writing my book. I don't have a training plan.
Too much.
It's also my personal taste. I'm not a big fan of counting. I'm not a big fan of programs, because I enjoy my freedom. And secondly, because I don't have specific goals at the moment, like, I don't know, specific goals. Like, hey, I want to kill it at whatever, lifting something heavy or running that distance in a certain time, things like that. But I could, and the moment I will have again such specific goals, then I will establish a plan. I will program my training. For now, it's a basic maintenance of my baseline of physical competence. So I know, I can feel when I start to lose my stamina, my strength, maybe my skills become a little more dull. So I want to sharpen them. I want to keep training my techniques and checking out that it's still there, it's still alive, it's still good. It's a lifetime process. Strength, what people call strength. To me, it's not monodimensional. It's just the strength of your muscles. It's your physical, mental, spiritual strength. Fitness is your energy at every level, and it's not a state. It's a process. The moment you stop practicing your energy, your strength, your skills, they decline. It's just the rule of life. So you want to keep in movement. You want to keep moving all the time. And it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's not a chore, right? It's not like, oh, I got to do that because I suck, because I'm out of shape. It's a punishment. It's
right.
I feel guilty about myself. No, I like to say this. Beware, it starts to be philosophical. Fitness, exercise, workout, whatever you call that, movement, it's not something I do. It's beyond that. It's an expression of who I am.
Right, right.
When it becomes that, then you have to force yourself to go out and move, or to go train. It's just who you are. It's part of your nature, man. It's in your DNA. Movement, it's in your DNA. It's in everybody's DNA. And we just forget about it. And then we're like, okay, I got to exercise. It's okay, it's good to think like this, but it's even more powerful if you think, I am movement. I am that free, strong, healthy, resilient human animal and I can move, and therefore I move because I can. Right? I have this ability. I use it.
Right. Yeah, Jack LaLanne said, "Move it or lose it," and he's never been more right with everybody. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you, Erwan, is like, where do you think this all went wrong? Because a lot of people ask me all the time, well, if the gym industry is so big and they have these cardio machines, why do they have all this stuff if it's not right? So, where do you think it all went wrong? Where do you think we stopped focusing on just moving as a human and really kind of pigeonholed our minds into this box of fitness as we see it now? The contemporary media tells us to be fit, right?